So I mentioned this earlier. So this is where I wanted to talk about Jey Uso, because I am kind of confused about this. So he is interviewed backstage and he acts annoyed when he is asked about how the other guys in the locker room aren't happy about him being back. Like he's just very like brushing it off and just like whatever, right? And that is part of what I feel like doesn't make any sense, because, and I tweeted about this last night, because he's very well aware of how people were going to react to him. Like you can't act like dominating the entire WWE for 3.5 years, screwing people over, beating them up, jumping them, making sure that they lost matches, whether it was against you and your brother or Roman or whatever, and that you've been torturing the entire roster for 3.5 years, that people were then all of a sudden going to be like, oh, he left. Okay, I'm going to welcome him with open arms, So I kind of am just like, I don't like that aspect, because to me, it doesn't make sense. Like it's part of the reason why he left the bloodline. So you can't just be like acting annoyed about the fact that, Kevin isn't on your side or Drew has an issue with you. Like you were literally the reason why these people didn't win the title from Roman. So like, I don't know. I think that I wanted to see him more like trying to right his wrongs. Like I kind of wanted to see more of that type of effort as a story, because I feel like that would make it, I don't know, like more believable that he is a changed man, whereas him coming in and kind of with an ego and this arrogance and just like kind of like not acting like he gives a fuck about people who are upset that he's there. I don't know. I don't like that. Like I just feel like it doesn't feel like a real big difference from the bloodline Jey Uso to
and that's something
Raw.
And that's the thing that about this story, is that Jay's not going to do that right now. He already did it with KO, and look what happened. So he did it. It happened. It went through with it. Kicked him in the face. He was like, "You really aren't changed all that." So now he's playing victim. He's like, "Why? I left the bloodline. I did all this. Why are people so pissed at me? All this." That's what his mindset is right now, and it's being played out for us. And then you have him, being upset with Drew, and Judgment Day, I'll be like, come in and join us, and all this stuff. It's all right now. The bloodline story is still going on, and the protagonist is Jey Uso. That is where the bloodline story is right now. So you have to, if you look at it through, he's the main character, everyone else is a side piece. So that's why he's going through this little internal battle, and you're seeing him, being a little more animated and all this, like all that. So I get it, and I actually like that he's being a little bit, why me? I left already. You should already be forgiving. It plays into that long-term storytelling, long-term booking that, we've mentioned already here, that you can't have a short memory with the bloodline storyline. It's too good. And if you want to get the best out of it, you need to do a lot of callbacks. And a callback would be this match that Jay and Drew had, and his feud with KO, and how they're still not on the same page. And the only person that really is Sammy, because Sammy was with them in the trenches. And then the only other person is Cody, because Cody's the ultimate babyface. And as an intelligent wrestling fan, that there's more to the story, so you're intrigued.
Well, but with long-term storytelling, though, is that you can't expect the characters in the story to forget what happened between them and the bloodline. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not saying that Jay has to get on his hands and knees and beg these people to be his friend or to trust him or whatever. I just think the kind of like thing is just kind of like, maybe it is just targeted at Drew and Kevin. Maybe that's it. If that's it, then that's understandable, just given what's happened over the last couple of weeks. But it just more so came off to me like he was just kind of dismissive of everybody who possibly feels that way. And it's like, but you have to acknowledge what the bloodline did for 3 years and how many matches you had end differently than they could have, or how many people's opportunities you took away from them. You know, it's like, just because you had a match, I saw it, like Richard said, just because you had a match with Roman, just because you pinned him and you were the first one to do it, just because you ended up leaving the bloodline and you turned on your family, that doesn't, what does that mean? Like, we've seen this before. So that doesn't,
more detail.
Yeah, so like there's not going to be guys back there that are going to be forgiving. So I just kind of wanted to see a little bit of a difference there, but